Oh, actually, I just noticed I forgot to update my calendar. I've updated the other one, didn't change this, so we got 22nd of May 2018 World Cup about to come. I was introducing to you yesterday the ranking system, how we could properly set up a ranking. And well, I got those powerful tools as being able to evaluate every single team within. And this is what we had in the end. Forget about all this stuff. So that's this was the ranking that I produced. And actually here I was I changed this so we can I set it to a mean value. So the average team is 1.0 should be here for this competition. I mean, this new Excel version, I'm not used to. This should amount to the same, does it? No, it does not. What kind of changes? Ah, that's the kind of changes we made yesterday. Anyway, it's pretty close. So the teams are about on that mean value 1.0, right? So the average team you can look up here in Morocco, that's 16th place from 32 teams. They are slightly below average already because the others are pretty good. So at least you can say this is 2.78. This is better than average. 2.78 times better than average, so to say. So this is the ranking in the end that I entered here. Okay, now we are ready to start a simulation. And I haven't done that yet, but this simulation, what would it do? 1,000 times. I'm running through, and this is pretty quickly. And I'm not doing any of these final pairings that would be so that you can say how likely it would be Germany, Brazil, in the final and so on. Sometimes people used to offer that. We're not doing that. We just run 1,000 times. I'm running through the World Cup now, and we see how often who's going to be a world champion. And this is the settings we are using. It's based on this ranking rather. Now I'm going to lose this again, and I want to do that. So, but how can I even move this window? I can only shrink it. Anyway, it's based on this ranking. Here's a rather philosophical question that's involved in this. This is held in German, so I can check this button here, and what it would do is no, this is a philosophical question, you can say, and this would comprise the following. I have those settings here, and now I'm simulating results. So I'm simulating Brazil are going to lose to, who are they even playing? They are playing France. No, they are playing, who are they playing? I can look it up here. What is the group? So it's Switzerland, Costa Rica. So assume they lose to Switzerland. 0-1. Something like that. It could be the first game, right? So they lose 1-0. In my simulation. If this were real, then you would say, well, maybe Brazil are not that strong, or you saw the game, maybe it was unlucky, or whatever it is. But now the question would be, the philosophical question would be, if I run this simulation, should I update their ranking position? Should I update their rating? Should I say, well, if they lose, they may not be as strong as I initially assumed, but this is only a result from a single simulation run. So would it be useful to update their abilities, their strength? Would it be useful, or would it be sensible? Would it be right? Should I do that, or should I not do that? Because I have my evaluation. Brazil are this strong. This is my basis. So if they lose a game in a simulation, should I update their rating position, their ranking? And this is philosophy within this. And here you can decide whether or not you want that or you don't want that to happen. And I say I'm not going to do that. And we're going to run this through now, and we'll see some results. We'll see who are favorite. Of course, this is based on this ranking here, or rather we refer to this one here. So this is Spain should be the favorites to win the World Cup. This is just by very little compared to France and Brazil. So maybe, but the question is, sometimes they have a better group, so they have tougher opposition. The others have a weaker group, or they also meet certain teams in a certain round of the competition. So maybe if they meet a stronger team earlier, they are more likely to get knocked out. And usually Germany always have the have the best path in the tournament. They always go through and without ever meeting any heavy favorite. So we see that as well. So just think about that. So this might also change. But then you also have some arbitrariness within the simulation, right? It can be some freak results. Of course, in 1,000 instances, well, okay, this should be weighed out. But we'll see what happens. 1,000, oh, I shouldn't have run this. I shouldn't have done this. There's debug. There are some debug options here. And maybe because I was checking my software, if my program, if the pairings, if everything's running properly. So there had been a warning. You should always check the event rules. And I was checking that, of course. Oh, this is the uncompiled version, because I made some updates here. So it is a lot slower. The compiled version of my fourth dimension, this is fourth dimension database that I'm running it in. The compiled version is running a lot quicker, but I can tell you a lot about this competition. In the meantime, and we have this ranking, I didn't do many changes. I might still do, of course, you find out Koscielny or is he injured or things like that, right? When players are not in the squad or they are coming on. So and I've based this here on 20 players. Maybe they got 24, so I can either, it might strengthen the team or make it weaker. You could also just go for the top 11, but they are not always playing the top 11. So omit the weaker players here, so to say, for the lineup, because they are not going to play. There are lots of things that you can do, small adjustments, and of course any evaluation of those teams, it's not arbitrary at all, but it is undergoing some developments, and you always have the chance, okay, this is not perfect, so I could have a look. And this is also based, what I never explained really, and this is a complex system that I'm running here. I got the strength from every team, all those players are playing for a certain team. If this guy Konazaki is not playing in a certain team, then he's just Japanese, so I take their original strength from his country, so to say. But Yoshinori Muto, he's playing for Mainz, so I consider him as good as Mainz are because he's playing for this team, and I take all those players together. He's playing for Leicester, and I make the rating for this team based on the players for which team they are playing. And but every single team has an appearance in his own country, in his own league, in the league it is playing. There is also, like Fortuna Düsseldorf, they just won promotion, but they did play Bundesliga 2. Bundesliga 2 is not a bad league within Europe, right? There's Icelandic, or there is what other low leagues are, Cyprus, or I don't know, Romania, or leagues like that. They are maybe not that bad, but there are other leagues that may be ranked lower than that. And this is a long-term development that I have there for all those leagues in comparison. So whenever a team plays, so to say, for its own country, it is playing for its own league. So it is, if it's doing well, its own league is, so to say, it's better in the European comparison. And or if it plays badly, this goes down. So I have this. First of all, I have a rating for this team on his national, or for this league it is playing in. I can't do otherwise than Real Madrid. They are playing in Primera División, so I have their ranking for this Primera División, and they are of course second place there. They are behind Barcelona, but they are second in Primera División. But this would not be their rating for Europe, because in Europe Spain have a certain ranking position, and this whole Spanish league, it is not in the FIFA coefficient. You have the countries, and here I would have to take the leagues, because they are playing in Spain Primera and in Spain Segunda, and the Segunda is not as good as the Primera, so I had to make this comparison. Anyway, it's a pretty complex system, but every result is reflected in its team's national ranking, or in the league it is playing in this ranking, but also for the international ranking. So I have two rankings, or ratings for every single team. This is the league it's playing in, to have a comparison there with the other teams in this league, and an international ranking. And this, of course, is based here. This is the international rating that I'm using for, because it would be completely useless to say Düsseldorf, they are pretty good in their country, in their league, whatever. But would that be right to rate them high here? It would not be right, because maybe Leicester City, they are playing in a completely other, different league. They are still the better team, because they are playing one league higher, and maybe they are just average in their league, but still this league is so much better than this league, and so on. So I'm taking this, and you see here that Leicester are clearly better than Düsseldorf. And maybe, you can doubt that, because Düsseldorf right now, they won promotion, so that would deserve an upgrade here, so to say, because they are playing in a different league now. And so it's pretty complex, right? As soon as they change the league, especially which is happening now, HSV are going down. So I have this ranking here, and this is a bit better than Düsseldorf. Maybe it's justified, but maybe this will change next season. I'm not sure. But anyway, you have to watch out here, because this is based on the international ranking of these teams. And the whole country, every single country's value is based on this. And of course there are updates, they all deserve some updates at some point, and usually results are caring for that, but you can also occasionally do it by hand, especially if teams are, if a team go down, get relegated from a league, then usually it does not just mean they are one league lower, but usually what it means is they are losing some players. So they are exchanging their squads. What they are trying to do in Hamburg and Cologne, which are the teams that went down from Bundesliga 1 this year, what they are trying to do is preserve their squads, hold the players, because they think they are good enough for this league. But there will definitely some changes take place, which usually means the team is deteriorating. So in case you know that, you can do some changes by hand as well. Which is of course done by the fact anyway that I initialize every league. I initialize when a new season starts. So I have to enter manually some evaluations of HSV, Düsseldorf and the likes. I have to do that anyway. I know what the difference is between these leagues, so usually you should say, well, if they are lower in this league, then they should be upper half in this league and so on. But still, you have to do some adjustments. Yeah, they are changing their coaches. They are changing lots of players. So you can't. The computer can't care for everything, right? So I'm doing some updates here. What you see here in general is, I think, a pretty good evaluation. I never referred to this, but I've compiled the prices here, and I also compared it, but we can't do everything in one go. But Russia against Saudi 135 is a pretty proper price. I think Egypt, Uruguay, is it a bit lower on Uruguay or a bit? I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe it's a bit lower, but it's pretty close to market. So these are the prices. If you can see them, I'm afraid you can hardly see those prices here. Morocco favorites against Iran. Spain 180 against Portugal. That could be 190, but this may be because my ranking says Spain are still one excellent side, and so maybe I rate them a bit higher. But market, of course, they all know Spain are still pretty good. France against Australia 125. I'm reading those prices to you, but this is pretty close to market anyway. And Argentina, but those are simply the prices that my computer compiles on these settings. So you see, whatever I've done here, it seem to make a lot of sense, because the prices that I'm getting out are pretty comparable to market's prices. So if there are differences, you still can doubt them, or you rely on them. You say, well, I've done that better, I know that better. So anyway, I spent all this time on this, and where's my... No, well, I couldn't. Did I click it away now, or what did I do? No, this is the simulation. It's through. Here I just had one table to it was just rather a test environment, right? I was checking the table here, or maybe it's from the first simulation or from the. But you see here, Switzerland ended up ahead of Brazil. But what we see here now, those are prices. But I can export them, I think. So we can do an export here. And I will create a new folder for the World Cup. I will call it No For You. All you guys watching. And I will simply call it maybe simulation 1. What is this telling me? This beep. Something went wrong. Oh, I had one already. Of course I had one already. So I'm gonna export it again. It's very, very silly. Of course I created all those quads. I could have moved it all as well. Maybe because it's finished, most likely. Okay, we can check this now, so you can most likely see that a lot better, because I can change the size. I can't do in this one. Does look a bit confusing at first glance. Okay. I will try to get the size perfect here. And now we can check. Oh yeah, but I didn't care for the proper size. No. or proper size. It's pretty big, is it? Second plan. And I've done everything here in one. Okay. We have to zoom that one, and so we simply have a check here. Because this should be percentage, so we could also, yeah, which one would we rely on? I mean, first of all, I might be able to change the width. No, can't reply to that. What else? We can mean that, and we could have percentage for those. And then this is. Sorry for all that delay. I'll leave it as is. This is percentage values. Well, anyway, quite a lot here and quite a bit, yeah, confusing. But I can simply explain those figures here. 705 times Russia went through, so they qualified for the. So this is 70.5% because we got a 1,000 simulation. This is a true price, and this is a price that one should pay for that. So this is, yeah, deriving from that. So I had to pay 135 for Russia to qualify for the last 16. And here is the price for them to yeah, not to qualify, so this would be 135, 3.0. If you would like to compare this to market, but and here I could still give prices for them to go through to the 272 times. So they seem to have a pretty strong opponent here. Saudi, Egypt, Uruguay, Morocco. Oh, so they are facing Spain or Portugal. So yeah, will be a tough task for them. So this is a good price here for them to go through the last 8. This is not to get there, or is it? Yeah, this is 433 times that they lost in the round of last 16, round 16, you say, right? So this is 215. This is a bit confusing because that would include the chance for them to go on. So you would bet on the thing they go out exactly in the last 16. Not how far would they get, because you would have to add these 295 times to these 433 for them to not get into the quarterfinals. So that would be 728 times, 72.8% for them not to qualify to the last 8. Anyway, you would have prices, you could compare these to market prices, but usually they are not offering prices for Russia to exit in the last 16 or things like that, right? Which are a bit. What we can check here is that they win the World Cup. It happened 11 times in 1,000, so that's 1.1%. That is the true price 19.9. So the price you should get, well, it should be bigger than 90. That it's a bet, but you should pay 50. Saudi Arabia actually never won the World Cup in these 1,000. Also Iran never won it. Also Australia never won it. It's a bit funny. Also Nigeria never won it in 1,000, right? But Panama seems to have. No, they also never won it. So a couple of teams that did not even reach the final, right? And here this said Australia never got past the semifinals even. 3 times they got there, but they always had been knocked out, so they have no. And this is the same Iran and also Saudi Arabia. They never got through, but it is a small chance, but it did not occur here. I could also run 10,000, but I shouldn't do it in the uncompiled version. Now here would be group winners. It's the same thing, 245 for Russia. I did not compare this, but I could do that for you. Some cash point, or yeah, I can do it at another point. Now, at least you saw here, I've done some simulation. Germany to win the group, 133, but the price to be paid is 128. So if you get better than 133, you could bet it. If you get, yeah, you can pay yourself 128. Things like that, right? So you have, well, all those chances. First place, this is winner of the group. Second place, or to qualify. This is 2.7 not to go through, and 135 they do go through. 9.5 for, well, is it right what I'm saying here? So they won first place 30 times and second place 80 times. So 110, that's 11. That's 7.5 for them. This is fourth place here. So 7.5 Saudi Arabia to win the group. This is rather the group winners. Now the qualifier. Price to qualify. Group winners prices are here. This is the prices that should be. I haven't done that. Who's ahead of? Oh no, this is entries for the not entries. First and second place. First and second place. I haven't compiled that. Within this simulation, I haven't done that. Anyway, you can see that here, and you can compare these to market. I mean, I actually had to do this, and before I leave, I didn't want this to occur here, so all this rubbish that I'm doing otherwise, didn't want this to occur. So what I wanted to see is, this is the one I refer to, or I do it here. World Cup, Gruppen-Siegwetten, what is it, Turnier? Team Spezial, maybe this is. Russland Platzierung, Punkte. Spanien Platzierung. Maybe Siegwetten, Turniersieg. Gruppe A, okay. So now we can compare this for Group A, just to give you one example. So this is, obviously 185 for Uruguay, so I would pay a little better. So they rate Uruguay a bit higher than I do. Russia is pretty close to these two prices here. Egypt to win the group 625, so yeah, actually that would even be indicated here, so it's 625 is more than that, but it's also within range, right? And Saudi Arabia to win, this would be 40, so actually one would have to bet these two. This is what I usually said. But it's not a big margin and bargain. And yeah, but Saudi Arabia, if you remember, they did win the group in '94 ahead of Netherlands and Belgium. So they managed already once with this guy. What was his name? Scored the goal. Just had it present, but I forgot now. Can't name him now. Anyway, top two. So I would have this, but I didn't compile it now. Group B, winner in Group B. So we would have Spain 150. This is almost my price. Portugal 285. I would have 3.1. Morocco. So this is usually the thing, right? You have 15 here instead of 13.2 and 30 instead of 37. So this would just Morocco be very slightly indicated. But I'm pretty close, and this is just simply the one simple simulation that I ran here based on those ranking that that I've done with you yesterday, that I showed you yesterday. So you see, I'm pretty close actually. But what it means these days, well, World Cup, yeah, it used to be the biggest thing, or also in betting wise, but it's not anymore. They are too good with their prices. Here, France, I have a pretty huge deviation. Why this? Peru? What about Peru? Item very low. Denmark? France? Why this is 2.1 here? A couple went to Denmark. What are you saying about Denmark? So there's quite a bit, quite a difference here, which surprises me a bit because I rated France very high, fairly high, second best. Weren't they second best? So this is it may largely be the Denmark evaluation, but I can also compare the prices for the group stage here. Which group is it? Group B, or is it C? No, it's a C, right? This is the same price here. You see that? I get 2.0 and market says 2.05, so there's no difference. 121 for France against Australia. This is about the same that I got. So these two are the same, and I would have France against Peru. This is again the same price, 132. I got 135, so this is nothing. And Denmark against Australia is 175, and they got 169. So they even rate Denmark a bit better than that. So I can't see that. So there's, yeah, I don't know. This is a bit strange where this deviation comes from. I can't explain at the moment. What did we have a look at right now here? So you can see that, and I've done that pretty quickly for you now, this compilation, and I haven't compared it now. I'm doing this in this moment, and this is a bit confusing here. We can have a look at Group D if we got another deviation here. We got Argentina. Oh, now it's telling me it's doing the prices for me. We just wanted this. This is obviously, once again, this is due to Croatia. But for me, Argentina, there must be. They are favorites against Croatia. Well, this I can't explain at all right now. Argentina, Croatia, they are slight favorites. This is 188, so market says this is okay. So I would say there is a deviation in the evaluation of Croatia, and I can of course check that at any point, but I've done that already, but we can do that together right now. Well, I had to search for Croatia here. Okay, so we get Gent, this is nothing, you would see that here. Monaco, not bad. Lok Moscow, not bad, but also not great. Bayer Leverkusen, that's okay, not bad. Atletico Madrid, pretty good. That's Vrsaljko, he's also, yeah, very good player. He's been team of the season, I don't know, but he's pretty good. Fiorentina, Bade, not bad. Inter Milan, Kovacic, I misspelled that one, but it's Kovacic, and he was pretty good, playing for Real Madrid. And we got Kramaric, not bad. We got Mandzukic, Juventus. We got Perisic, Inter Milan. We got Rebic, who was very good at France and Frankfurt, and I should even say he's better than Frankfurt because he was one of the top players. Then we got Lovren, Liverpool. We got Kiev, not bad. We got Besiktas, we got another one. I mean, this is top star, this is Modric, and this is Rakitic, and this is Marco Rack. Okay, there may be yeah, he may not have been a regular, and there's also Kalinic playing for Milan. So this is a decent side, right? Croatia. I mean, now checking this again, and you sometimes you have to have a look here and then compare that, and you say, well, a couple of Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Atletico, teams like that. This is, I mean, they are playing at the highest level. There is, I mean, yeah. So they are close to Argentina. They can't be this far away, and Argentina had a terrible qualifying campaign. I leave you with this, and I think now, well, you could compare the other groups maybe quickly, and then I'll leave you with this. Okay, Group E. This is Brazil. Group E, Brazil. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. We're down here. Okay, so this is a big difference. This is based on, but it looks to me, well, I can't explain that really. Serbia, 8.7. It's not this far away. Costa Rica, yeah, this is the same price. This is just the difference between Brazil and Switzerland. But actually, Brazil had been set a lot better. Again, confusing me a bit here, I have to admit. So maybe I should. What can I check now? I mean, we could check the World Cup winners here, but it's not that impressive right now. With the it seems to be, well, I'm a bit confused now. Well, they were pretty exact, these prices, right? Could check Germany here at 6.5. I think this is, well, what would market say to that? Siegwetten. Turnier Sieg, we did have that. Turnier Sieg. Yeah, 5.5 or 6.5, so this is very close. With Brazil favorites here, okay. But Brazil will have a lot. Yeah, this is pretty close again, 5.75. France, 7.0. So here it seems to be pretty regular, my program. Maybe I'm misreading something. This is 6.75, market 7. Now we get Spain. There may be a small deviation. This is here. So 4.5, and market says 7.0. This is for last time. So we should go for Spain, but not a big margin anyway. But yeah, not such a bad choice either. I mean, that's what we should do. Argentina 11, that sounds right again. To me, 11, it's the same thing. Belgium 12, could be about the same, or even a bit better, a bit lower. So we could go for Belgium. Here we get Belgium, 11, so it's the same thing, 12 or 11. True price, you can look here, 14.7, so this is... Then there's England, this is the only other choice now. I mean, the only choice left, and they never done very well, but here it would even be recommended to bet England, but you know that experience, they never won anything, or, yeah, a long time. And usually they're a bit tired for the World Cup. Then we did have, what was the other one? Portugal will be close again. It will be close again. At 17, it's the same thing. No, 27, sorry. So this would be 24.4, so 27. Yeah, why not? Not such a bad choice. And then we got Uruguay with 30, which sounds good to me. So this is the same thing. And Croatia, 35. That could be a bit lower here, but we just checked Croatia, right? This is lower, yeah, because I'm 13. So we should bet Croatia. We can still compare Russia, which will not be a big deal. We did that already. So I was saying 50. They pay 40. So we're very close. We just would have these two picks, maybe Spain and Portugal, maybe England, Spain, because they overrate a bit. Maybe Brazil, yeah, Germany, yeah, France. They are not overrating really. That's all we can squeeze out here for the moment, right? Not a big deal, right? So usually, well, what can I say now? My simulation or my settings or everything is running pretty okay, and in the final result, so well, we're coming close to those market prices. So where's the bargain? What can we do about it? I have no answer yet, but we can check further. But I hope you still like it, and you still think we could do something with it at some point. Thanks a lot for watching. I leave you with this and see you tomorrow, most likely.